What is ceremony? This is a very interesting subject. And so, ceremony, as I understand it, is so I've just to be transparent, I've participated in a number of ceremonies. A lot of them were to do with plant medicine, but there's a lot of ceremonies that we participate in just like as for other things in life, and they're important things, and so this is kind of why. So like one of these things is a marriage. Sometimes when people are in love and they want to make a statement, kind of like as a rite of passage to say, hey, let's do this. I feel strongly enough that I think that we can make a life together, and let's do this. Let's vow to each other that we will be there, through it all, and not give up on each other. And it's an important thing. It's beautiful to celebrate that kind of a connection. It's like, wow, somebody's special. And that's great. I mean, another one too is, of course, the funerals. It is hugely important that when somebody passes on, that you go through a process of letting go, of not. I've heard it many times, and it has happened in my own family where people where one person dies, and then the next person doesn't let go, and then very shortly after something happens, and then that person ends up transitioning to the other side as well. I mean, it's very important, because we're attached, right? And then like life is different without a person when somebody leaves our life, when they pass over to the other side, and that's tough. So it's important to give voice to certain things, to process it in a way that allows you to get over it, to get through it, to having a way to relate to it. It's why, and so there's certain teachings that it is very helpful to be present, so that you can go through it and not get caught up in it, not get consumed by it. There's so like some ceremonies, it's not this big thing, like a wedding or a funeral. It can be quite small. Like I had an uncle who passed away that I was close to, but for a little bit of time just before he passed, we weren't really close. I was really busy doing my own things. I was gallivanting around the world and this and that. And, sometimes I was close to him, like in proximity, but I didn't go visit him. And then like this happened, and I ended up with all of his stuff because he's like really into sacred geometry. And like this is another thing that I have, that I'm working with, because he did some beautiful work, and it's like how to bring this to light, but it's like I'm working on my own stuff as well. So that's why another reason why I need help. But so he passed, and now I have all his stuff, and it's like, and I have I've taken it upon myself to give, to let to do something with his legacy. I think it's like that. What he did was very special, and so and he wrote some books, right? So I got to deal with that stuff. But when you don't get to say goodbye to somebody, how do you handle that situation? And so the answer is ceremony, where it's like, yeah, sometimes we have like a fire, and then it's a sacred fire, and in ceremony there's a set of rules where it's like, you don't spit into the fire, you don't throw garbage into the fire. That's not what's going on. You have to be very mindful about how you conduct yourself in this kind of an environment. It is not it is a moment of recognizing the sacredness of certain things, and about the process, and how important it is to honor certain things, and also the feelings that you have. And so, like, you might take some tobacco or some cedar or something that is special to you, and you might offer up a prayer and to say, hey, Jim, like, I never got to say goodbye to you. And it's like, I know that it's, when a person's in their expanded state, it's like they're beyond a lot of the kind of feelings that we might tussle with as humans like this, a lot of people. But it's like, just to go through this process to say, hey, I am grateful for everything that you brought to my life. A lot of people didn't understand you, and I'm not saying that I did, but I'm just saying that you meant a lot to me, and I wish you all the best. And then, you just throw it in the fire, and then you've made your peace. Because it's like, some things, how else do you make peace with something that is like beyond your ability to touch and stuff like that, non-physical stuff? I mean, it's important to do that just so that you can have that inner peace, so that you can rest and be like, okay, well, that's all you can do, but that's all you're supposed to do. That's all you have to do. And that is, it is enough. It is sufficient to do that. And I think that, in ceremonies, sometimes, we sing songs, we play drums, and everything is significant of something. Like, you play the drum and the rattle, and it's like the masculine and the feminine. And as I understand it, it's always the rattle first. The masculine follows the feminine. And it makes sense, just because the feminine is the intuition. It is tapped in a way that the mind is not, and therefore it's like just better to follow that. And so, anyways, like, ceremony, it's deep, and it's like, a lot of people, I think, they don't really understand it. You might have heard the word or seen it, you have an idea about something that you've seen in a movie, about something that maybe some indigenous cultures practiced. You might see them dancing or singing or praying or having a fire or doing certain things, and it's like, trying to, what is it? And so, like, it is foreign because it's not a common understanding. And I think, it could be easy to think that this is, it's actually a primitive understanding, that these are like basic people, like, say, maybe doing praying for rain or something like that. And then but the thing is it's like, when you participate in ceremony, you understand that every action is significant. Everything is important. The way that you do everything, there are implications for everything that we do. And it's not about doing it all right. It's about learning. I mean, that's how you learn, is by participating in ceremony. And by making mistakes, and somebody saying, hey, just so like, this is what we're trying to do here right now, this is the idea. And so, and as it translates, it's like, you can look at it like ceremony is just this thing that takes place over a period of time, and then you go there and you participate, and then you leave and it's over. But it's just like, I have this feeling that this is like a next level understanding, because it's more like all of life is a ceremony, and it always matters. Everything matters. Everything is significant. Everything indicates something. Everything is a relationship. Everything is important. It's important how we do every single thing, how we conduct ourselves, how we handle ourselves, how we approach things, how we do stuff. It is important. It's not life. Life is a big ceremony, because I think, like, after it's like, how could it be that it's only important then, but it's not important now? So then you're kind of left with this, I think, like a juxtaposition where you have this opportunity to reflect on these kind of two different worlds, and you realize that they're one and the same. Everything is profound, everything is felt. There is no disconnection. There might be an experience of it, but it's like fundamentally everything is connected and we're all one. And it's like, it's super important. Absolutely every single thing that you do, everything that you're involved with, the way that you talk to people, how you treat people, how you treat yourself, the little things that you say, you know, just your energy, everything that you contribute, everything that you put out there is important, you know? So yeah, I think that ceremony is really powerful, and it's not just ritual dogma kind of stuff. It's a little, it's quite a bit deeper than that. So yeah, you take that for what you will, and I don't know, I hope to see you around a campfire sometime, and maybe we'll, I don't know, have our own little ceremony.